Hello, my lovely ladies. I hope you all are having a wonderful day and a wonderful week. And if not, perhaps this is the video that can turn that around for you. Because you see, ladies, we hear so much talk about dressing with elegance, being elegant behavior. An elegant woman doesn't do this, an elegant lady does that. However, if you are like me, when I first began my elegance journey and I wanted to level up my wardrobe, I found myself a bit frustrated because I would find garments that were hundreds of dollars, thinking that because they were expensive, that they would be of good quality. And I was a bit annoyed to find so many that would be hundreds of dollars for polyester and poor construction. So, my darlings, I quickly learned that class is not about cost, but it's about intention. So, once again today, I do want to talk about elegance, but let's talk about the type of elegance you build. Because we often hear the phrase, effortlessly chic, but the truth of the matter is that elegance requires effort. You see, it's not about the number of pieces you have in your wardrobe, it's about the intention in choosing the right pieces. You see, my dear, you do not need a lot of items or a closet full of designer clothes. You just need simplicity, structure, and a little strategy. So today what I'd like to do is show you how to build a capsule wardrobe in a monochromatic palette that will have you looking elegant and ready for most any occasion. So if that sounds like something you are interested in and you want to see how I put these things together, well then get a notepad, something to write with, a pen or something, and let me welcome you to Always Classy and Elegant, aka Ace Academy Etiquette. I am Brandy, your host, coach, and mentor, and as a certified international etiquette consultant, I am here to help you get the knowledge and tools you need to be your best. You see, my dear, on this channel we talk about ways to cultivate a classy and elegant persona that is all grounded in etiquette. So if that sounds like something you are interested in and you want to learn more, then please come back and join me every week for a new video and check out some of my older videos as well. Now, ladies, before we glide into this, let me level set your expectations just a little bit. I am going to do this in a monochromatic palette of lighter tones such as ivory, off-white, apricot, beiges, light beiges if you will. So I want to do that because I find that while this color palette is wearable for pretty much all seasons, wearing it in the cooler months just gives that extra aura of elegance, that feeling of wealth. You know, you get the image or concept in your mind of that classy lady who has a driver take her everywhere she wants to go, and she maybe has a butler or a doorman who opens the door for her when she gets home. So basically, she hardly ever touches a door handle outside of her own residence. It gives me that type of image in my mind, and I find it just adds an extra of elegance and femininity and class for the cooler months. Now, while I am going to do this in this lighter toned palette, keep in mind you can do this in any color. I am going to recommend that you start your capsules using neutrals. So think of this color tone palette that I just mentioned. Think of blush tones, gray, taupe, beige, deeper beiges, navy blue, chocolate brown, maybe a heathered brown, and of course also black, which is always a winning go-to classy look. Now, ladies, building your capsules in neutrals does not mean that you should simply have a closet full of nothing but neutrals. No, 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 no. I am recommending that as you build your wardrobe with these neutrals, they are always interchangeable. They often work well with one another, but then also you can start adding in other colors. So once you have satisfied the number of capsules you'd like to have and the colors that look best on you, consider doing this in other colors. Just avoid neons. By all costs, please don't do this in any neon color or any color that is too bright or too loud. So I want you to keep in mind additional colors that still read class and elegance. They still give off that air of refinement. So think of things like emerald or hunter green. Think of deep plums or purples or eggplant colors. Consider even burgundies or oxblood. Though these are still deeper shades, some of them still provide enough punch to still give you some color, but they are still refined enough to be elegant. Now, even before you begin building your capsules in additional colors, I want you to also think about adding pops of color here and there with your accessories. So consider, for example, a more monochromatic, light-toned outfit, such as those that I will demonstrate today. Consider, what if I had a nice red scarf tied around my neck or placed in a lovely way across my shoulders? That not only gives the outfit a little lift, but it also can lift your mood. So consider adding color with accessories, scarves, jewelry, even your handbag, perhaps your shoes, depending on whether or not it fits your look. And the last thing, ladies, once again, as we go through all of this, I want you to keep in mind that you do not have to spend a lot of money to look elegant or expensive. Again, you just need to get the things that are right for you and apply the right strategy. Okay, let's glide into it. Okay, ladies, I know you may be eager to see the outfits, but we need to go over some basics first. So, first things first, I want you to consider the fabrics that you purchase these more affordable items in. So consider fabrics like tweeds, brocades, boucles, wool blends, thicker silks or satiny type fabrics. And you want those to be thicker because if they're too thin, they can give off an air of cheapness. Also, when it comes to the silky, satiny type fabrics, look for them in lighter colors. That's going to give the look or feel that they are a little bit more expensive than they actually are, and it will help to hide any flaws in the stitching. Pay attention to the stitching. Also, look for items that are lined. Having a lining will add to the structure of the garment, and it will help it to maintain its structure better over time. So if you can't find something that's in a thicker top fabric, if it's lined, that can help you with the structure. And speaking of structure, you want to look at how these items are made. Make sure that they are even. So if it's a blazer, you want to make sure that both sides meet at the same point when it lays on your body. You also want to look at the stitching. Avoid anything with visible stitching that is messy or uneven. And while you can snip a few stray threads here or there, you really can't fix messy stitching. And that's another reason why getting some things in a lighter tone, it helps to hide the stitching flaws, but that does not mean that you should shy away from things in darker colors. It's just something to be mindful of. So structure, it's the next thing. You want to look at items that have a bit of structure to them if they are something like a blazer or a jacket or even a trouser. So even if the fabric itself, once again, is not thick enough, look for those items that have a lining, because the lining will help to make sure that the garment can maintain its shape and that it can withstand multiple dry cleaning visits. Again, with linings, you want to look at the fabric for the lining. A lot of times they are going to be a polyester fabric, and while you may not be able to help that, you want to make sure, once again, that it's not too thin that it will tear easily. And because again, you want your items to maintain their structure over time. You want them to be able to withstand multiple dry cleaning visits, and you want them to last. That also means that you need to take care of them, so you don't just lay or throw your items around, but you hang them up. Proper care is going to be key as well. The next thing I want you to keep in mind with these low-cost items is sending them to the cleaners for a good pressing. Now, if you are an expert at ironing, which I am not, I gave it my best shot, I certainly recommend that you go ahead and send these items off to the dry cleaner, because having clean, sharp, crisp lines are going to be key things to consider to make sure that these garments look more expensive than they really are. So that means that hems and pleats should be nice and flat. There should not be any bulges or gaps, and pockets should be flat as well. Okay, now let's get into it a little bit more. Some things you will need for your capsule wardrobe. I'm going to start with tops. So I've got a silk blouse, a cami, a v-neck t-shirt, a cardigan, blazer, trousers. I have a sheath dress. You can switch that out for a shift or an A-line dress. A pencil skirt. You can switch that out for an A-line skirt if that works better for you. Shorts, a date night dress, a coat, heels, sandals, which you can switch out for low profile sneakers if that fits your lifestyle a little bit better. A structured handbag and a nice clutch for evening wear. All right, ladies, let's glide into putting these outfits together. Okay, so we begin our foundation of elegance starting with the wide leg trouser, which is having a trending moment right now. So you can do this look with a wide leg trouser or a more traditional straight leg or tapered trouser, whichever fits your body type and your style personality. And I've begun this with pairing it with the camisole in satin, which adds femininity and elegance. Now, pleats and pockets should lay flat. There should not be any puckering or bulges. If you see either of those things, that means that the pants are too small and you probably need to size up a bit. Now, since these trousers are in a fabric that drapes, the pleats aren't lying completely flat as they should, so a style edit to remedy that could be lightly tack them to maybe the point where I am depicting or illustrating in the video, and that way they'll lay or remain lying flat as they should. You just have to keep in mind, ladies, that with these lower cost items, sometimes you have to do a little bit more to upgrade them a bit and give them that elevated look that you are looking for. I would hem them in a quarter to half an inch so that I've got no bends or no breaks, or so that they don't puddle, and I can keep that straight line, which will make my petite frame look a little taller. So this look with the camisole can take you to brunch or a weekday lunch with a girlfriend or some other type of daytime event. And also notice that I've got a belt on here. I think I neglected to mention that earlier. I have two belts that I will be styling these combinations with to show you how a change in the belt can change the look. Now on to our pencil skirt. That one paired with the satin camisole strikes a timeless, elegant, and feminine note. It says that it's the ultimate ladylike style, and it says that I'm soft and I'm feminine, but don't play with me because I don't play games. Now, as with the trousers, you can pair this with the blazer or even the cardigan, and a variety of style edits to make it your own. And let me step back just a moment to the blazer. You can wear the blazer in the traditional manner or consider draping it. If you choose to wear the satin camisole and the trouser to the office, do make sure that you wear the blazer in the traditional manner, or consider belting it for a little flair, a style edit that makes it your own. Okay, so next we have the button-down collared blouse in satin, and here, when paired with the trouser, it gives a business look, equally professional and feminine. Now add the blazer, and that creates a soft boss look, because when was the last time you saw a woman in a white pantsuit that played games? You know, she could be as sweet as she could lethal. We can also see the button-down blouse here with the pencil skirt. Another classic ladylike look that is soft and feminine, yet professional still. And you'll have to forgive me, ladies, I am on a weight loss journey, and Evidently, I've lost more weight than I realize, and I really could use to size down for this pencil skirt to fit as it should, but I'm doing the best that I can here for the purposes of demonstration. I already put this video off a week, and the original merchant that I was going to source all the items from is overseas, and I did not want to risk having to wait 2 months or more to get the items. But while I am on that topic, do let me remind you that fit is so important. So don't be afraid to size up and take something to a tailor to have it customized to fit your specific shape. Okay. Now, another classic styling option is pairing the button-down blouse with the shorts and some slides for a classy casual look. And here I've styled the V-neck tee with the trousers, the pencil skirt, and a more casual A-line skirt. And I opted for a V-neck because it's universally flattering. It will complement any face shape, any type of chest or shoulder structure, and it just looks really flattering on pretty much every body. I opted to get this in a fitted silhouette because that suits my body shape best, but you can do this in a looser version as well. And for the trousers, I went sans a belt to give it a more casual look, and I would recommend, if you want to make this more casual, pair it with ballet flats as I've done with the A-line skirt, or you can even pair it with a sandal, but it works perfectly with each of these pieces. Just wanted to give you an illustration of how you can use that particular item to dress these bottoms up or down. And I'm now going to transition to the cardigan. Now you can see the difference that the cardigan makes when I pair it with the same trousers. Immediately you can see it makes it a little bit more of a casual look, and for my particular frame, having something that's a little more fitted on top helps and looser on the bottom helps to give me a little bit more balance and lengthen my look a little bit more. If you are on the petite side, be aware of the amount of fabric you have in your pieces, especially something that's looser top and bottom. A petite frame can easily become lost in the fabric, and you don't want to look like you're swimming in it. So as I mentioned in a previous video, for a better balance, try pairing a fitted top with a looser bottom or vice versa. And right after I began shooting, I found a cardigan that I like better for a similar price. I found a cashmere blend cardigan, which I will link below, and you can see how that works with these combinations as well. So once again, you can tuck it in or wear it over the trouser and belt it. For a lot of us, most of us, that waist definition is going to be key as well in providing balance and defining our frame so that we don't look like we are swimming in the fabric. When I switch it out with the pencil skirt, the same concept here works just as well. It just all depends on your personal style and the occasion. As I mentioned, I am a dress and skirt girly, so the pencil skirt look would more than likely be my go-to, but you do whatever is going to be your elegant go-to. Also, another styling option is you can consider draping the cardigan just as we did with the blazer. And to me, when you pair that with the pencil skirt, it gives me headmaster vibes. You know, the female, the lady dean of an all-girls school that's extra strict and makes sure that everybody toes the line. It somehow gives me that kind of feel. You know, the look where you remember seeing the cardigan, the lady that had the cardigan draped and it had that little chain that went from the button to the buttonhole to keep it from sliding off her shoulders, but you never saw her wearing it in the traditional manner. It was just always draped, and she had that chain, and she was very stern and serious. Okay, moving along. I'm going to shift gears here and we're going to look at our dresses. So the look here is still a classic silhouette. This particular dress has a bit of flair with the design to it, but it can be worn with or without a belt. Here I prefer it with a belt. Again, this is a dress that I have had for many, many years now. So again, a testament to getting things that are of good quality and in neutral tones. They will carry you for a long time. Another thing I want to mention really quickly, ladies, here, if you notice, I'm keeping the other embellishments minimal, but as far as goes jewelry and additional pieces, but again, don't be afraid to drape or layer your garments to create a soft yet expensive silhouette. And also, don't be afraid to mix textures. So if you notice when I pair the satin with the trouser or the skirt, you've got the textural difference, and that adds to the elevation and elegance of your ensemble. Now ladies, notice how when I pair it with my handbag, how that adds to the look. So consider using a structured handbag. It can be on the smaller side, such as this one, or it can be medium sized or larger. Just don't go too large, but notice how that keeps everything cohesive, polished, and pulled together looking. On to date night. I would be remiss if I did not give you a date night look. So here, this dress can actually be worn dressed up for a date night, or you can wear it casually, say to run errands on the weekend, or again, a casual brunch or get together with friends. You can pair it with sandals, ballet flats, or low profile sneakers if you're traveling or running errands. That's why I chose this particular dress, because it is versatile, and I wanted to provide you with an idea of something that can be dressed down and dressed up. So now let's talk about our date night look. This off the shoulder style, I just love it because it gives that perfect amount of showcasing of skin, yet keeping you modest. So with the chest and neckline area being displayed, you have the perfect setup for that clavicle moment. I'm not sure if you are a fan of that. Call me crazy, but I just love some clavicle now. It is just the ultimate cherry on top of a nice, sexy, sensual look for a date, but it keeps it classy and elegant. So I recommend that you pair this with jewelry that is dainty, like a nice dainty dangle earring, perhaps a delicate dainty necklace, and or maybe a bracelet that drapes. Let me be clear about what I say when I use the term dainty. By definition, and I don't have the exact definition to look it up here, but it means something that is delicate in reference to an item or a thing such as jewelry. So in this case, you want jewelry that is a little more delicate looking. Not to say that you could never wear a bolder, chunkier piece, but delicate for a date night is going to be the way to go. Let me tell you why. You want something, especially if it's got a little sparkle to it. So just imagine you're at the table for a candlelight dinner. Your earrings are just, moving as you're talking and gesturing, and it's picking up the light from the candle and throwing back just a delicate amount of sparkle. And it's just soft, it's feminine, it just makes you sparkle even more. So that's why I say delicate jewelry. Now here I have paired it with an open-toed shoe or sandal, heeled sandal, and a metallic clutch, a gold metallic clutch. You can, for a date night look, go with a handbag that is on the smaller side. And ladies, I do recommend keep your accessories minimal, because you want your man to see you, not all this stuff. You don't want him to be focused on all your accessories. You have to remember that everything you put on your person, whether it's your hair, the way you have it styled, your jewelry, your makeup, your eyelashes, your nails, your other accessories, in addition to the dress, everything on you is something else that a person has to take in and process. So you want your date to see you as a whole. You don't want them to be distracted by all this stuff. Allows them to take you in and see you as a whole. Okay, let me get back on track here. So another switch up to this look is switching out the open-toed heels for a metallic gold sling bag, still with the same handbag. It changes it up just a little bit, still sensual, still tasteful, still classy, but it just gives it a different type of feel to it. So I hope you get the idea here how you can play with these pieces. And also I have to bring you a coat. Now for these looks for dresses, I do recommend that you make sure that your coat is longer than the hem of your skirt or the hem of your dress. Otherwise it seems to look a little disjointed. But here I've paired this with a wool wrap that I have, and it's got a tie belt, so you can wear it traditionally, or consider taking that tie belt off and using a belt with a buckle to close your coat. Where I live, it doesn't really get cold enough to warrant wearing heavier wool coats, although I have several. I find that since moving to the Gulf Coast, I don't use them, so this wool wrap serves me perfectly. It's lightweight, but it's still the perfect amount of warmth for a cooler day, and I love the way that it wraps and keeps my neck and chest area covered and warm, yet it's easy enough for me. If I want to unbelt it, I can just leave it open and let it catch the wind and flow in the wind. I love a duster type look, something to wear when you're walking and it catches the wind and you look like you've got your own cape or train trailing behind you. Yeah, if you guys haven't picked up, I can tend to have a little bit of a flair for the dramatic sometimes. So y'all pray for me. So anyway, consider draping it as well. Nothing says mogul energy like that coat draped over your ensemble. All right, ladies, so let's talk about accessories, the final brush stroke. So as I mentioned, a classic belt, a classic structured handbag, elegant shoes in neutral shades that will be in harmony with your outfit. So if it's black, do black, navy, do navy, with this, I don't know, apricot cream bisque look. You can do a shoe of that color, or even your nudes come in perfectly handy here as well. But basically those are all the things that you need to refine your capsule in whatever shade or hue you choose to do it in. Another elegant edit that I want to point out to you, buttons. They can tend to look a little cheap, but don't let that deter you from an otherwise perfectly good garment, because you can always just change the buttons. That is one of the easiest things you can do, and you can do it yourself, or if you just simply don't have that time and you prefer to, send it off to a tailor. So while today's looks are affordable options, I certainly always recommend that you buy the best quality that you can comfortably afford. So sometimes that might mean maybe waiting a couple of months to save a little bit more money, and waiting until you find an item. Say you wanted the trouser in satin. It could be better for you to wait a few months until you find exactly what you want and the quality that you want at a price that you are willing to pay and can comfortably afford, as opposed to getting a lesser expensive option simply because it's available. So keep that in mind as well. And also keep in mind, you don't have to procure all of these pieces all at the same time. A lot of times it pays to shop around, to search and to look and to be patient until you get exactly what it is that you want that fits and suits you. So these items that I've shown you today are from H&M and Amazon. I will link them below. Ladies, I am not getting commission on any of these things, so this is not to benefit Brandy. This is simply because I had a difficult time with even going to more expensive retailers and still finding good quality items until I had to learn through trial and error. So I simply want to share my learnings with you. Also, while these items are from H&M and Amazon, I highly recommend Lily Silk. Lily Silk has beautiful, good quality items at nice prices. I won't say that they're affordable. They will cost a little bit more, a few times more than what these items cost. However, the quality and the fact that you're getting 100% silk, that is a testament to why they cost more. But sometimes also other retailers that you can get some quality items for could be Quince for cashmere. Quince is not going to be your top tier level cashmere, but for the price and considering that you are getting a natural fiber, they are a pretty good, a decent option. Also, Aritzia has, for blazers, they've got some items that have a little bit more structure and tailoring to them without, let's say, a Ralph Lauren price tag. However, if your budget affords you to be able to procure Ralph Lauren items, I certainly recommend Ralph Lauren. Karen Millen has beautiful coats and blazers. I certainly recommend Karen Millen. And also, I don't think this particular brand is as well known in the States as maybe they are in the UK, but Holland Cooper. I have a few pieces from Holland Cooper and I love Holland Cooper. So consider them. They are not going to be what I would consider affordable at all. These would be, for the most part, more along the lines of investment pieces. Some may not be quite as much as a Ralph Lauren, but the quality is most definitely there. So keep them in mind as well. So ladies, you saw how Elegance doesn't require a designer label, just some thoughtful color coordination, timeless silhouettes, a few elevated touches here and there so that you can create a wardrobe that speaks for you. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments which of these pieces you are most excited to add to your capsule, what colors you'll be working with, and if you have any style secrets that I didn't share, please share them with us. We would love to learn from you in the comments as well. If you are serious about upgrading your look, your image, and your life, then please consider enrolling in Ace Academy Etiquette. I would love to work with you and help you with your full, not only your style transformation, but your overall transformation. So I will link that in down below as well, so you can see the books and courses that I have available to you under Ace Academy Etiquette. All right, ladies, so I can't think of anything else right now, so I think that's it for today. So with that, I will encourage you to stay soft, like, comment, share, subscribe, and remember, always keep it classy and elegant, my dear. Bye for now.